Good evening, and thank you for joining me. I'm Crawfordsville Mayor Todd Barton, and I'm honored to welcome you to the 2026 State of the City Address. This annual address is an opportunity to reflect on where we have been, take an honest look at where we are today, and share where we are headed as a community. I would like to thank Dave Peach and our Crawfordsville radio stations for broadcasting this address and helping ensure this information is accessible to residents throughout our community. Each year, the State of the City serves as a snapshot in time to capture our progress, our challenges, and our priorities. It also is a chance to recognize the people, partnerships, and shared commitments that make progress possible. There is no question that 2025 was a remarkable year in Crawfordsville, from unprecedented community collaboration to major milestones that gained national and even international attention. Our city demonstrated both resilience and momentum. As we move into 2026, we do so with confidence, purpose, and a clear focus on building upon that success, while preparing for the opportunities that lie ahead. Crawfordsville is special, not because of any single project or investment, but because of the way our community consistently comes together, and because of the people who call this place home. This is something that comes up again and again in conversations on our Crawfordsville Connection podcast, and it is a theme echoed by nearly every guest who joins us. Our community is supportive, generous, and deeply invested in the success of one another. From individuals and families to small businesses, nonprofit organizations, and large employers, there is a shared understanding here that when our community succeeds, we all succeed. People in Crawfordsville care. They give of their time, their talents, their resources, and their financial support to strengthen our community as a whole. That spirit was on full display in October of 2025 when the world came to Crawfordsville for the 78th Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at Ironman Raceway. With an estimated 20,000 visitors from across the globe representing over 30 countries, this international race put Crawfordsville and Montgomery County on the world map in a truly extraordinary way. Hosting an event of this magnitude was no small feat for a community our size. It required months of planning, coordination, and partnerships among city and county departments, state agencies, local organizations, businesses, volunteers, and residents to make this event a success. The feedback from visitors and locals alike was overwhelmingly positive. More importantly, the event reminded us and showed the world what is possible when a community rallies together. While economic impact numbers will come later, the greater impact was something harder to measure: goodwill, global camaraderie, and unforgettable memories created right here in Crawfordsville. For a few days, the world felt a little smaller, and that moment of unity was centered in our community. Events like the MXON reinforce what we already know. Crawfordsville is capable of big things because of the people who make this community what it is. Our ability to host global events, attract investment, and continue to grow is rooted in our commitment to quality of life and opportunity. We believe that when people feel connected to their community and supported in their daily lives, great things follow. In March of 2025, the Montgomery County Early Learning Center officially opened, adding much-needed childcare capacity to our community. While our community, Indiana, and the nation continue to face challenges related to early learning infrastructure, we chose to act locally. The project reflects our belief that workforce development begins early in life, and that supporting working families and early childhood development strengthens our entire community. Investments like the Early Learning Center are about more than workforce alone. They are about quality of life, creating a community where families feel supported, employers can attract and retain talent, and where people envision a future for themselves and their families. That focus on quality of life is a theme you will hear throughout this address, from parks and trails to housing, infrastructure, and public spaces. As we continue to build locally, we also work to share Crawfordsville's story beyond our city limits. Throughout 2025, I traveled extensively, logging 22 flights and nearly 12,000 miles, along with countless miles driven throughout Indiana and surrounding states to promote Crawfordsville. These efforts are about telling our story, building relationships, and ensuring that when opportunities arise, Crawfordsville is top of mind. Crawfordsville continues to stand out because of our unique hands-on approach to economic development. By keeping these efforts local and collaborative, we are able to move quickly, respond directly to business needs, and build long-term relationships. I want to thank Cheryl Morphew, our Economic Development Director, for her leadership and dedication. Her knowledge and work alongside our city and county teams continues to position Crawfordsville for sustainable success. In 2025, we celebrated major announcements and expansions. Penguin Random House completed a significant expansion, growing from their 650,000 square feet to a total of 1.6 million square feet. This facility is now their flagship and the largest in their global supply chain network. International Paper invested $17 million in new production equipment, retaining 156 high-quality jobs in our community. Midwest Wire Group announced a $7 million expansion and relocation project, retaining 12 jobs and creating 15 new positions. And Kroger Marketplace announced a new 123,000 square foot store, representing a $38 million investment, retaining 122 jobs and creating 78 new jobs for our community. In addition to these announcements, work continues for projects previously announced. Ira Whiskey and Weaver Popcorn, both located in the Crawfordsville Commerce Park, continue to move forward. These projects represent reinvestment, innovation, and confidence in our community. Ira Whiskey will host its first major event, the inaugural Mayor's Ball, on May 7th, marking an exciting milestone for both the company and our community. Beyond announcements, we completed 25 business retention visits in 2025 and 2 corporate headquarters visits. These visits are a critical step in helping us understand challenges, support growth, and ensure existing employers remain successful here. These visits further strengthen our pipeline for future opportunities. The Crawfordsville Regional Airport continues to be a valuable asset to our community and a key driver for economic activity and connectivity. In 2025, the airport recorded 41,462 aircraft operations, representing a 25% increase year over year. That averages out to approximately 114 operations per day, with each operation defined as a single takeoff or landing. This level of activity reflects growing demand and increased utilization of the facility. The airport also experienced its strongest year ever for Jet A fuel sales, surpassing the previous high by 52%. This milestone underscores the airport's expanding role in serving our community and corporate travelers. Our flight school continues to be a success as well, recording its second highest year on record for flight rental hours, reinforcing the airport's role in workforce development and aviation training. Looking ahead to 2026, the airport's focus remains on continued infrastructure improvements, including repairs to existing hangars and pavement, completion of a major project to fence the airfield, ensuring the airport remains safe, reliable, and positioned to support future growth. Workforce development remains one of the most important priorities, and many of the initiatives you see today began with listening directly to our local employers. Our public transportation system is a prime example. This conversation began in our monthly workforce development meetings, where employers consistently identified transportation as a barrier to hiring and retaining employees. We took that feedback seriously and pursued a community-driven solution. A public transit study was conducted in 2025, and as a result, we successfully applied for and were awarded funding to transition from Sunshine Vans, which had a limited scope, previously only serving seniors and individuals with disabilities, to a new, more inclusive system, Crawfordsville Area Transportation, sometimes referred to as CAT. This new service officially launched on January 5, 2026, operating under the Parks and Recreation Department, and now serving all members of our community. This transition is not only about workforce access, but is also about quality of life investment. We know that with many things, we are leading the way in innovation, but public transportation was an area in which we were lagging behind. Reliable and accessible transportation connects our residents to jobs, education, healthcare, recreation, and community amenities, further enhancing the quality of life and making Crawfordsville a place where people want to live. Another foundation of our workforce strategy is the Crawfordsville Career Academy, which was intentionally designed to be a hub for education, workforce development, and workforce readiness. This facility, once limited in its use, now has activity flowing through its halls every day. Students are gaining hands-on experience, earning workplace readiness credits, and entering the workforce with direct, real-world exposure. With graduation requirements evolving to emphasize workplace learning, Crawfordsville was uniquely positioned to respond. We already had the bricks and mortar with the former Ivy Tech facility, allowing us to move quickly and bring partners together. Today, the Crawfordsville Career Academy is home to the Industrial Career Academy, Ivy Tech Community College, West Central Indiana CTE program, and the Crawfordsville Adult Resource Academy. Many communities are still trying to determine how to create these collaborative spaces, while we were able to align schools, employers, and workforce partners under one roof again, demonstrating what is possible when our community works together. As we invest in preparing our future workforce, we are equally focused on fostering innovation, creativity, and engagement across all generations. The same collaborative spirit that drives our workforce initiatives also drives us to think differently, tell our story, and position Crawfordsville on a larger stage. Innovation has become part of Crawfordsville's identity. By leaning into innovation and being intentional about sharing our successes, Crawfordsville continues to gain recognition at the state and national levels. Telling our story matters. When we share what is happening here, whether through conferences, partnerships, or national conversations, we create opportunities for our community to be highlighted. That visibility attracts interest, investment, and collaboration. One meaningful example of innovation through engagement is the Mayor's Youth Council. This initiative was created a few years back to strengthen connections with our younger generation and the future of our community and workforce. In 2025, the program was reimagined and strengthened through partnerships with all 3 local high schools. When the council first met, students shared ideas about what they wanted to see in Crawfordsville, only to discover that many of those initiatives were already underway. The challenge, we realized, was not effort, but a gap in communication. Today, students from all 3 schools meet regularly to learn about city initiatives, discuss community issues, plan events, and find ways to engage their peers. The Youth Council is helping build informed, active citizens while ensuring young voices are a part of shaping our community's future. Innovation has also helped elevate Crawfordsville's profile on a national stage. The Supercross event held at Lucas Oil Stadium served as an early opportunity to showcase our community and help build momentum leading up to the Motocross of Nations, as we talked about Crawfordsville on the big stage. At the same time, our mobile integrated health program continues to be recognized as a nationwide leader in its field. Our mobile integrated health team is regularly called upon to help other communities launch similar programs, reinforcing its role as a pillar within our community and the National Mobile Integrated Health Network. The spotlight extends to other services as well. The Crawfordsville Fire Department was featured in a national EMS World publication, highlighting the department's innovative approach to emergency medical services. Crawfordsville Electric Light and Power was recognized on a national stage at the American Public Power Association's annual conference, showcasing the strength and reliability of our locally owned utility. I've also had the opportunity to represent Crawfordsville in important policy discussions. In 2025, I testified before a U.S. House subcommittee regarding early learning and childcare, bringing attention to real challenges and real solutions facing communities like ours. In addition, I was honored to receive 2 significant recognitions last year. I was awarded the Spence van der Linden Award from the American Public Power Association, an award that recognizes outstanding leadership and support of public power at the national level. I was also awarded a Sagamore of the Wabash by then-Governor Eric Holcomb, which is Indiana's highest civilian honor, recognizing individuals who have made a lasting positive impact on the state of Indiana. While I may be the one standing at the podium or receiving recognition, these moments are a direct reflection of the people of Crawfordsville. They belong to our city staff, partners, volunteer, businesses, nonprofits, and residents whose dedication and support make this work possible. Innovation in Crawfordsville is not about recognition alone. It's about improving the quality of life, solving real problems, and continuing to move our community forward in ways in which we can all be proud. Investing in quality of place remains essential to attracting and retaining residents, supporting economic growth and ensuring Crawfordsville is a community where people want to live, work, and spend their time. In 2025, several projects and partnerships helped strengthen that foundation. We celebrated the ribbon cutting and grand opening of the Montgomery County Early Learning Center, which officially opened in March. This facility created capacity for 120 child care seats for children ages 0 to 5, addressing a critical need for working families. We also celebrated the dedication of the Veterans Memorial Park, a project led by local veterans who turned a shared vision into a meaningful space through their mission of honoring all veterans. 2025 marked the first full year of use for the Purple Heart Parkway extension, fully connecting US 231 and Ladoga Road. This project improved mobility, expanded trail connectivity, and opened nearly 1,000 acres for future housing, retail, and development opportunities. Downtown placemaking continued with a new mural funded by the 180 in Color grant. Artist Jenna Morello returned to Crawfordsville to create artwork on the south side of 120 South Green Street that reflects the spirit of our community. The city also supported improvements to the Masonic Cornerstone through the 180 Makeover grant, upgrading critical fire safety equipment and the elevator to support continued restoration of this historic building. Important infrastructure work continued at the old landfill with replacement of the aging clay cap, addressing long-standing environmental concerns and protecting Sugar Creek. In 2025, essential infrastructure investments also continued within the wastewater department, supporting both quality of life and environmental protection. We continue to progress on the digester lid replacement project, which is currently awaiting funding through the Office of Community and Rural Affairs. These lids cover the tanks where anaerobic digestion occurs, and the existing lids have exceeded their lifespan, contributing to odor concerns in parts of the community. Replacing them will help eliminate odors and improve system performance. Work also continues for the filter belt press and gravity belt press rehabilitation projects, ensuring the long-term reliability of our wastewater treatment operations. In 2025 alone, the wastewater department treated 831.56 million gallons of wastewater, highlighting the scale and importance of this essential service. To enhance our downtown care, the city added a full-time downtown maintenance position. Chris Conrad has made a noticeable impact through daily upkeep, landscaping, cleaning, and beautification efforts in our downtown area. In partnership with the city, Niches Land Trust acquired land along Sugar Creek near the crinoid beds to preserve a unique natural resource and ensure thoughtful future use. Back in 2024, through FEMA's Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant Program, or BRIC, the city completed Phase 1 of erosion mitigation along Sugar Creek on Wayne Avenue by purchasing and demolishing affected homes. In 2025, future phases were impacted by changes to the federal program that ultimately led to elimination of the project. However, the city remains committed to pursuing solutions to reduce erosion risk and protect residents. Parks and Recreation continues to play an important role in quality of life for residents of all ages, offering programs, events, and amenities that bring people together and encourage active, healthy living. In partnership with the Montgomery County Soil and Water Conservation District, the Parks and Recreation Department received an Award of Excellence from the Indiana Parks and Recreation Association. This recognition highlighted the controlled burn and prairie restoration efforts at Brickyard Nature Park, improving habitat, sustainability, and educational opportunities. 2025 marked the fourth year of both Camp Milligan, a summer camp program, and Holly Jolly Days, a week-long program offered during winter break. Both programs continue to fill completely each year, reflecting a strong demand for youth programming and family-friendly activities. In 2025, there were 26 different events hosted at Pike Place, along with the weekly farmers market from April to September, activating the public space downtown and supporting community gatherings. In addition, the Parks and Recreation Department oversaw the removal of a log jam at the Sugar Creek Trail Bridge, improving safety and accessibility along the trail system. Completing these efforts, we finally saw significant progress on our Wayfinding project, a multi-year initiative aimed at making our community easier to navigate for residents and visitors alike. In 2025, substantial installation occurred ahead of Motocross of Nations, improving directional signage throughout the city. While a small number of signs are still being made, the project is largely complete. Looking ahead, the second phase of the Wayfinding project will focus on trail signage, connecting the citywide system to our trail system and providing clear navigation along the recreational paths. Together, these efforts enhance accessibility, support tourism, and improve everyday experiences for those who live, work, and visit Crawfordsville. Behind every visible success in Crawfordsville is a consistent investment in the core infrastructure that keeps our city moving. In 2025, the street department completed both city-funded and grant-supported paving projects across the community. City-funded paving projects included approximately 1,100 feet of new surface pavement at locations such as Beecher Young Boulevard, Harrison Street, Lafayette Avenue, Hickory Lane North, and an alley behind the 300 block of Market Street. And through the Community Crossings Matching Grant, the city completed more than 10,300 feet of new surface pavement, along with 959 tons of base repair, representing an investment of approximately $630,000. These projects included work on East-South Boulevard, Mill Street, South Elm Street, and Southgate Drive. Improvements ranged from overlay asphalt paving to mill and fill work and base repairs, ensuring roads are not just smoother, but are built to last. Stormwater infrastructure also saw targeted improvements in 2025, addressing long-standing issues and preventing future damage. Projects included repairing collapsed systems, replacing damaged drain structures and pipes, rerouting storm systems, installing new collection points, and adding more than 1,100 feet of new storm pipe, along with completion of the Shelley Drain project that had been sorely needed on the east side of the city for decades. All this work took place around the city in areas such as Inglewood and Darlington Avenue, West Main Street, South Oak Street and East Main Street, Tuttle Avenue, 150 South, Sugar Cliff Drive, and Broadway Street. These investments help protect homes, streets, and waterways while improving resilience during heavy rain events. Supporting daily services, the city also added a new trash truck to the sanitation fleet in 2025, ensuring continued reliability in city trash collection. These infrastructure investments may not always be the most visible, but they are essential. They support safety, protect neighborhoods, and create the conditions needed for growth, and laying the groundwork for housing, retail, and development opportunities that continue to follow. As we invest in the places that make Crawfordsville vibrant and livable, we are also laying the groundwork for the next phase of growth that brings new neighbors, new opportunities, and continues momentum across our community. Housing plays a vital role in that progress. Simply put, retail follows rooftops. As new housing comes online, it signals opportunity to investors and businesses looking to serve a growing community. With projects such as Arbor Homes, Hawkview Neighborhood, and proposed single-family homes and market-rate apartments along Purple Heart Parkway, Crawfordsville is positioned to add nearly 1,000 new doorsteps in the coming years. This planned growth not only helps meet housing demand, but also supports expanded retail, services, and amenities for our residents. In 2025, we celebrated the ribbon cutting and grand opening of the Ben-Hur Apartments. Once a building vacant for decades, this downtown landmark has been revitalized thanks to John Anderson and AP Development LLC. Today, it brings new life to the heart of Crawfordsville by offering market-rate apartments and supporting downtown activity. Significant progress was made in 2025 in the Arbor Homes, Hawkview neighborhood on the south side of town. Infrastructure was completed, homes were constructed, and momentum exceeded expectations. Of the neighborhood's planned 182 lots, 49 permits have been issued to date, with 38 homes already receiving occupancy permits. Demand has been strong enough that infrastructure work on Phase 2 is already underway. Residential growth has been matched by continued retail development. 2025 marked the grand opening of Aldi, helping address the need for additional grocery capacity, offering residents affordable, fresh food options. Dollar General also opened a new Eastside location with expanded grocery offerings in response to our community's demand. As previously mentioned, Kroger broke ground on a new Kroger Marketplace their largest store format. This 123,000 square foot store, spanning more than 2.5 football fields, will be a $38 million investment that will include groceries, apparel, sushi, Starbucks, and a fuel center, significantly expanding retail and grocery options for the community. Kroger expects substantial completion of this store and a grand opening in early 2027. And additional investment continues across the city. A Wawa convenience store and fuel station has been announced for the east side of town at State Road 32 and State Road 47, and is currently working through the permitting and approval process. Starbucks is under construction for its second location on the north side of town between Holiday Inn Express and Marathon, and hopes to open yet this year. In 2025, Crawfordsville also welcomed Glicks, a family-owned boutique clothing retailer, adding to our local retail mix. Each of these housing and retail investments reflects confidence in Crawfordsville's future. Investors and businesses see the growth happening here and are choosing to be a part of it. Together, these developments continue to enhance quality of life and support a thriving, growing community. In addition to visible growth, important work is also happening behind the scenes to address long-standing infrastructure challenges. In early 2025, the city was awarded a Federal Railroad Administration planning grant to begin the process of studying a potential grade separation at the Market Street Railroad crossing. This grant funds the planning, engineering studies, and analysis needed to evaluate solutions leading up to, but not including, construction. We know that the Market Street crossing creates significant impacts when blocked by trains, affecting traffic flow, emergency response, residents, and businesses. The city collected data at the crossing and listened closely to community feedback to develop a strong, compelling grant application that was data-driven. The award of the planning grant is the critical first step toward a long-term solution. As part of the planning process, the city will host public input sessions in the coming months to gather feedback and suggestions from residents and business owners. Regardless of the solution to the problem, we will take into careful consideration how grade separation could impact the surrounding neighborhoods and business community. This will not be a fast or simple process, but this planning grant signals real progress. While more of the work is happening behind the scenes today, it reflects our commitment to tackling complex issues with community input guiding the path. Thoughtful growth must be matched with intentional investment in police, fire, EMS, and emergency preparedness to ensure that progress does not outpace our ability to keep people safe. In 2025, we implemented a percentage-based pay increase for our highly skilled public safety employees, along with an additional stipend for employees residing inside the city of Crawfordsville, as we want to continue to encourage our staff to live and engage in the community they serve. We recognize that our efforts and increased compensation will allow us to continue to recruit and retain quality law enforcement and emergency services personnel. In 2025, we continued to see increasing demands on our police, fire, EMS, and dispatch teams. The Crawfordsville Fire Department and EMS responded to a total of 7,437 calls, including 5,073 EMS calls and 2,364 fire calls. This represents an upward trend in overall call volume compared to prior years. The department continues to manage increasing call complexity, higher medical acuity, and growing service expectations. Nearly 40% of EMS responses in 2025 required advanced life support level of care. As EMS demand has grown, so has service delivery. In 2025, EMS charges increased to $2.71 million, up from $2.48 million in 2024. The department is providing more EMS services than ever before, improving billing performance and collecting more revenue than in prior years, while continuing to deliver essential emergency care that cannot be fully offset by billing alone. These efforts greatly reduce the cost of providing emergency medical care to the taxpayer. The Crawfordsville Police Department responded to 16,676 calls for service in 2025 and investigated 701 traffic accidents. Officers also made 148 impaired driving arrests, reflecting a continued focus on community safety. Throughout the year, the police department expanded and strengthened its capabilities, including continued collaboration with the Mobile Integrated Health and Quick Response teams, launching crisis intervention team training in Montgomery County with the first training scheduled for February of this year, and progressing through the Justice Reinvestment Advisory Council process. Crawfordsville Police Department is now able to conduct forensics examinations on devices such as cell phones in-house, which was a function that previously required outsourcing. Officers also continue to work with the Fire Department and Montgomery County Sheriff's Office to advance the multi-jurisdictional SWAT team. In 2025, the Police Department also increased number of hours worked with the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute on traffic enforcement initiatives, expanded their work with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, and enhanced community engagement and community policing efforts. Understanding the importance of training, our police department now doubles the minimum state standard for in-service training for officers, and the department continues progressing through the Indiana Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission process. Mobile Integrated Health continues to be a critical extension of public safety in Crawfordsville, providing proactive, patient-centered care beyond traditional emergency response. In 2025, the MIH team served 53 chronic disease patients through structured 90-day programs and supported 15 long-term aging-in-place patients, helping residents remain safely in their homes while reducing unnecessary emergency calls. Through Project Swaddle, MIH supported 106 mothers with 66 babies born in 2025, and 33 additional births are already expected in 2026, ensuring families have access to care, education, and resources during critical early stages. The program was further strengthened with the launch of the Foundations Program, enrolling 26 families and extending support from 90 days postpartum through age 3 in partnership with the Montgomery County Community Foundation and the Early Learning Initiative. MIH also plays a key role in behavioral health and crisis response. In 2025, the Quick Response Team handled 297 referrals, serving 258 unique patients and responding to 290 hotline calls, connecting individuals to care while reducing strain on emergency services. We remain committed to transparency and communication. Our city's website continues to evolve, serving as a central hub for timely and accurate information, services, and public engagement. A key part of the effort in communicating with our community is our Crawfordsville Connection podcast. In 2025, we produced 52 weekly podcast episodes along with 3 special release episodes, ensuring residents had consistent and timely updates throughout the year. Each month, our episodes range from a variety of topics, including community events, news, program information, and monthly general update episodes that provides a comprehensive overview of city projects and priorities. In 2025, we featured 54 unique community guests on our podcast, in addition to my role as a weekly standing guest. These conversations allowed residents to hear directly from department leaders, community partners, and local organizations, further reinforcing our commitment to openness and accessibility. On July 1st, 2025, we began live streaming and archiving the recordings of our public meetings directly to our website, increasing our transparency and making it easier for residents to stay informed and engaged. An ordinance change also allowed for greater flexibility in meeting locations, improving accessibility to the public. Since 2024, we have slowly been rolling out our refreshed branding from a new website to email signatures, business cards, and letterhead. 2025 brought us the ability to get that branding finalized in our park signage and multiple city departments' building signage. We also partnered with Freckles Graphics to create a cohesive look for city-branded apparel for our employees, as well as finalizing the rebrand of our city vehicles. All of these items come together to help us tell our story and showcase all that Crawfordsville has to offer in a cohesive manner. Strong financial stewardship allows Crawfordsville to invest in its future while maintaining long-term stability. At the end of 2025, the city finished the year with a total balance of $42.36 million, reflecting careful planning, disciplined spending, and responsible management of public funds. The city's 2026 tax rate supported budgets, as approved, total $21.9 million and include $13.8 million general fund budget, a $320,000 budget for the repayment of the Fire Station No. 2 bond, $475,000 budget for the pre-1977 fire pension, a $531,000 budget for the pre-1977 police pension fund, a $145,000 budget for local road and street, a $2.4 million budget for motor vehicle highway, a $419,000 budget for cumulative fire, a $1.6 million budget for parks and recreation, a $324,000 budget for the airport, a $46,000 budget for cumulative capital improvement, and a $422,000 budget for cumulative capital development. These budgets are supported by a 2026 tax rate of $1.47 per $100 of assessed value, down from $1.64 in 2025, and as high as $1.72 in recent years. It's important to note the city's rate is only one portion of the overall tax rate paid by residents. In 2025, the total tax rate in Crawfordsville for the Crawfordsville School District was $3.97 compared to $3.06 if you live in the city of Crawfordsville, North Montgomery School District, and $3.12 for the city of Crawfordsville in the Southmont School District. A key factor in maintaining a lower tax rate while funding essential services is growth in net assessed value. In 2025, the city's assessed value increased by approximately $117 million, reflecting continued investment and development. Tax increment financing, or TIF, remains an important tool for redevelopment. In 2025, TIF revenue totaled approximately $2.4 million, supporting pass-throughs, bond obligations, and infrastructure improvements through the Redevelopment Commission. In addition, the city operated several utility departments that are fully user-supported and funded entirely through service revenue. For 2026, these budgets include Crawfordsville Electric Light and Power, $40.4 million. Of that, it should be noted, $31.9 million is budgeted for the actual purchase of power that is pushed through our system. Wastewater budget was $4.7 million, stormwater budget $893,000, and a trash service budget of $385,000. When viewed together, the city's total budget includes $21.9 million in tax rate supported funds and $46.5 million in utility revenues, for a combined total of $68.4 million. These numbers tell an important story. Crawfordsville is growing, investing, and planning responsibly to position our city for continued success. If you'd like more detailed information regarding the 2026 budget, tune in to the Crawfordsville Connection podcast, episode 266. It is also important to acknowledge the broader fiscal environment facing Indiana communities. Senate Enrolled Act 1, or SEA 1, passed at the state level, has had a significant impact on local government finances by restructuring property tax distribution and placing additional constraints on revenue growth. While this legislation is intended to provide relief to taxpayers, it shifts greater pressure onto communities like Crawfordsville to continue delivering essential services with fewer flexible dollars. Despite these challenges, we have remained proactive, disciplined, and strategic in managing our resources to improve and invest in quality of life initiatives. The city changed healthcare and employee clinic providers. This change resulted in meaningful cost savings while maintaining access to quality care for our workforce. These types of operational decisions, often behind the scenes, play an important role in protecting taxpayers' dollars and ensuring long-term sustainability. In 2025, we achieved several important milestones related to the city's long-term debt and redevelopment financing. The Ivy Tech bond was paid in full, with the final payment coming from Commerce Park TIF funds. In addition, the Commerce Park bond was paid in full, with payment coming from the Southside TIF funds. This strengthened position provides additional flexibility to support infrastructure, redevelopment, and future investment in our community. As we look back on the successes of 2025 and ahead at the bright future of 2026 and beyond, there are many people I want to thank. I want to thank the City Council for their leadership, collaboration, and shared commitment to the success of Crawfordsville. Their willingness to ask hard questions, work through challenges, and stay focused on the long-term good of our community is critical to everything we accomplish. I also want to thank Clerk Treasurer Karen Douglas for her dedication, professionalism, and stewardship of the city's finances. Her work ensures transparency, accountability, and stability as we plan for the future. Most importantly, I want to recognize that everything you have heard here is a result of a team effort. I am fortunate to serve alongside an exceptional group of department heads, city staff, and partners who show up every day committed to this community. Their expertise, creativity, and willingness to go above and beyond are what turns ideas into action and plans into progress. While I may be the one delivering this address, I am simply leading a team of hardworking professionals who care deeply about Crawfordsville. From public safety and utilities to parks, planning, communications, and administration, this organization works together with a shared purpose of serving our residents and making this community stronger. As we reflect on where we've been and look ahead to what's next, I am confident in Crawfordsville's future. Together, we are building momentum, strengthening our foundation, and preparing for continued growth and opportunity. As always, I encourage you to stay connected through the Crawfordsville Connection podcast and our city social media accounts. I hope you found this address to be useful and informative. Thank you again for taking time to listen, and good evening.